Hello and welcome to National Focus. I am Shaakira Pierre. In the headlines, 33 families from Grand Fond to move into new apartments by June. Church leaders and key stakeholders join to address ills of Dominican families. And Agriculture Minister says it's exciting times for agriculture sector. Details of the headline stories and more coming up.
Children, yell and tell if someone tries to abuse you. Tell until someone believes you and they do something about it.
For more information on child abuse or to report suspected cases on child abuse, contact the Social Welfare Division on 33 Great Marlborough Street or call 266-3020 or 266-3080.
33 families in Grand Fond will be entering their new apartments by the end of June this year. This is all part of government's quest to construct 5,000 resilient homes for citizens. A total of 66 apartments will be constructed in that community.
In Grand Fond, into these buildings. In total, we will have 66 units. We have this site and we have a site adjacent or opposite rather the primary school, and that is at the foundation stage. And we're hoping that before the end of this year, that site will also be completed, making way for some 33 units, 33 residences for families here in Grand Fond.
The housing minister says the families in times of adverse weather conditions will be able to remain in their homes and be safe.
We felt that the government on a national program that we needed to ensure that any home we build post-Hurricane Maria, we build it with greater resilience so that families can stay in their homes, be safe, feel safe, and to survive the hurricane with no fear of the roof being blown out or the concrete caving in. And the technology that we use in here, as I understand it, the house is tied together from foundation to roof. And of course we have taken into consideration the fact that we're also in the earthquake belt. So in terms of seismic resistance, we also have that in the design of the building.
After moving into their new homes, each family will be given a strata title. A strata title is a form of ownership devised for multi-level apartment blocks and horizontal subdivisions with shared areas. The strata part of the term refers to apartments being on different levels or strata. This will serve as collateral for homeowners seeking loans at financial institutions.
Each family will have a title in their name for these buildings, and this is the same we will do in Bellevue-Chopin. For every family in Bellevue-Chopin will be getting a home. Where their homes are not standalone, they will receive a strata title so that they can take this to the bank as collateral, as security to get a loan for any family need.
The communities of Montjean and Rivière-Syriac will also benefit from the housing developments. 24 apartments will be constructed in these communities to provide proper housing for residents.
We're hoping to increase that number by a further 24 because there's a particular list of people there who need homes. But obviously we started with the most vulnerable. Those are in more difficult circumstances. So we look forward to the completion of these homes, so for the residents of Mount Jean River Civic Grafon. And I know in speaking with a number of villagers, they can't wait to move in.
Housing units are also being built in the neighboring communities of Dillis, La Plaine, and Castlebruce. A report detailing the achievements of the Inter-American Institute for Cooperation on Agriculture, IICA, was handed over to Minister for Agriculture, Food and Fisheries, Honorable Reginald Ostry. The report was handed over during a ceremony last week, after which the IICA delegation in Dominica and stakeholders from the agricultural sector discussed IICA's Technical Cooperation Program for 2019. Representative for IICA in the Eastern Caribbean states, John King, stated that the report aims to give stakeholders a view into the work that IICA has done over the past years.
IICA has the pleasure to present today its annual report for 2018. The purpose of the report is to show transparency and accountability to our major stakeholders in the agriculture sector and provide an overview of our main achievements in 2018. This achievement will be presented by my colleague Ken Coppel, our technical specialist in the delegation in Dominica.
King noted that the report will give an overview of the assistance that IICA gave towards the rehabilitation of the country's agricultural sector.
The institutes acknowledge the effort of the recovery and rehabilitation process within the agriculture sector in light of the devastation caused by Hurricane Maria, which decimated much of the agriculture sector. Based on the recent reports that we received, the island made a strong recovery with fast improvements in the agriculture sector. This accountability seminar and the annual report is giving an overview of our activities in 2018, but at the same time is the last report within the medium-term plan 2014-2018.
King added that the programs detailed in the report were developed based on issues faced by citizens in the country, such as food security and food availability. Let's now join Daryl Titt for the in-depth reports.
The Dominica Labour Party administration is sparing no effort in its quest to enhance the living condition of nationals. Housing units are being constructed in communities across the country to elevate the comfort level of families. In Hillsborough Gardens, for example, 28 families of Layu and St. Joseph will move into new homes by July 2019. According to Prime Minister Honorable Roosevelt Skerrit, this is just the first phase of government's plan to construct 100 homes in this developing community.
The plan here in Layu, in Hillsborough Gardens, to build 100 homes in total for the residents of St. Joseph and Layu. And in the next couple of months, we will commence the construction of some 36 units, additional 36 units. But we'll be utilizing the quote-unquote apartment-type structures.
Government's intention is to gradually redevelop the community of St. Joseph by moving some residents to Hillsborough Gardens.
The challenge you have in St. Joseph is that there are many homes, but everybody has a small plot of land. And you have a challenge of sewage and building of the septic tanks to facilitate the disposal of the waste. So you were never able to do what you truly want to do in St. Joseph where housing is concerned. So the plan is to build 100 homes here, and as we relocate people from St. Joseph, redevelop St. Joseph to a more modern community.
Permanent Secretary in the Ministry of Housing, Reginald Severance, says the intention is to expand the housing development.
This may turn out to be one of the best replication of the Sustainable Housing Solutions product on the island. And the intention is to continue to expand the development here and to include the third model of buildings that they hope to build as part of the 1,000 home agreement. We have colorized the names of the buildings, so the 2-bedroom house is a sunflower, the 3-bedroom house is a marigold, and the intention is to have a 12 apartments, 3-bedroom apartment complex, which we are coining the Valerie. Hopefully we will be expanding that and have 3 additional of those units be built as part of the program in Hillsborough Gardens.
Parliamentary representative for the St. Joseph constituency, Honorable Kelva Daru, says the 28 new homes which will be handed over in July will have a significant impact on the lives of residents.
For me as a member of Parliament, it's always important when you are able to raise the standard of living of any one of your constituents. And one of the challenges that we've had facing this St. Joseph constituency is that of housing. And these 28 homes that we are currently constructing here will impact significantly on the livelihoods of the families who will benefit from these homes.
Dr. Addis King has thanked government and the parliamentary representative for caring for the village's most vulnerable families.
I just want to take that time on behalf of the St. Joseph community and by extension the Layu community to thank the Prime Minister for thinking of us, especially after Hurricane Maria when a lot of my neighbors suffered. And now we can boast of resilient houses and a resilient hurricane shelter. So I just want to say thank you. Also a special thank you to Honorable Kelva Daru because he has worked with us in the last 10 years. And one of his mission in life was to see most of our vulnerable people to be placed in a better situation. And I'm thankful today that he has accomplished that.
Former chairman of the St. Joseph Village Council, Eric Serra, has applauded the DLP administration for the housing development at Hillsborough Gardens.
I would just like to say a big thank you to the government of Dominica for a timely project like this. You know, we're talking of 28 homes, you know, and we're looking forward to village expansion. You know, so a project like that is deeply appreciated by myself as the chairman of the council and the people of St. Joseph. I would just like to tell the government, continue the good work. You know, indeed, this will not go unnoticed. You know, everybody is very, very happy, is very satisfied for this initiative. You know, especially after the passage of Hurricane Maria, we suffered, you know, great loss in terms of housing and so on. So these houses will add value to the community of St. Joseph and the constituency by extension.
Daryl Tip for the Government Information Service.
The Ministry of Ecclesiastical Affairs hosted a national consultation for church leaders and key stakeholders on social ills impacting the family. Minister for Ecclesiastical Affairs, Family and Gender Affairs, Honorable Catherine Daniel, underscored that the event supports the vision of her ministry to function as a catalyst for the improved spiritual, social and economic well-being of the populace and to facilitate the transition to a more just and resilient society.
The idea of a national consultation, which would embrace a wider cross-section of stakeholders, has been on the table for some time. And finally, today, we are assembled here for exactly that purpose. The primary purpose of this national consultation is to, as was stated earlier by the PS, is to identify cross-cutting issues across sectors that affect families and communities, and to highlight and identify the various roles that stakeholders have in addressing these issues.
Permanent Secretary in the Ministry of Ecclesiastical, Family and Gender Affairs, Helen Royer, says this is a mandate of her ministry.
The Ministry of Ecclesiastical and Family and Gender Affairs has the mandate to promote spirituality, alleviate poverty, foster gender equality, and improve the quality of life of citizens through enhanced access to opportunities irrespective of gender or social class. And this consultation is a mandatory step in strengthening existing partnerships and relationships with churches, civil society, and other key stakeholders as we work collaboratively towards key priority areas to ensure that areas like poverty reduction, gender equality, economic empowerment, community empowerment are highlighted in the government's National Resilience Development Strategy 2018-2020 finds its focus.
Minister Daniel called on all stakeholders to play their part to make a positive difference in the Dominican society.
It is incumbent upon those of us who are leaders to combine our efforts to arrest the erosion of values and escalation of negative behaviors such as immorality, lawlessness, violence, and different forms of abuse, among other things, which are plaguing society today. And for this, we too have to do self-introspection and see whether we are adding to this or whether we are making a difference to create a just and fair society.
The National Consultation for Church Leaders and Key Stakeholders was held last week at the Goodwill Parish Hall. GIS will bring you more on this event in another newscast. You're watching National Focus. More when we return. Welcome back. Deputy Prime Minister and Minister for Agriculture and Fisheries, Honorable Reginald Austri, has described the post-Maria era as exciting times for the agricultural sector. The minister was addressing a national accountability seminar hosted by the Inter-American Institute for Cooperation and Agriculture, IICA, last week. Honorable Austri stated that the passage of Hurricane Maria presented new opportunities for the sector.
While Hurricane Maria dealt a very serious blow to the sector, but it also opened up for us several new opportunities for the advancement of the sector. I've been advised that the last time we did a complete review of the sector was following Hurricane David 40 years ago, 1979. And that's where Mr. Bully's experience became very, very handy, and he actually volunteered right after the hurricane to assist us in rebuilding the resilience sector.
He noted that the agricultural sector remains a very important sector in the development of a resilient Dominica and the Caribbean by extension, as it creates employment and contributes to the country's economy.
Agriculture will be with us for a very long time, and I believe that we would have failed the Caribbean region if we do not put our best foot forward, because the region still continues to depend on Dominica for fresh fruits and produce. And we can, in fact, make a contribution to the development of not only Dominica, but the region. I mean, agriculture continues to, about 40% of the labor force in Dominica is still engaged in agriculture, and it forms about 11.3% of our gross national product, which is very significant. It's also a very important foreign exchange earner for the country, which really is the base of the foundation of our rural livelihoods.
Honorable Austri further added that the opportunities that have now been made available can help rebuild a resilient sector while ensuring food security for citizens. He believes that with assistance from local, regional, and international partners such as AICA, the current administration can rebuild a stronger agricultural sector.
I say it's exciting times, very, very exciting times for us. It gives us an opportunity to explore areas that we've never probably explored before in terms of new crop varieties, in terms of resilience in the sector, several new market opportunities, both locally and in the region. And we believe that with this joint collaborative effort among all the players, we can rebuild that sector in a bigger and better, more resilient way than it was before. Our farmers continue to show a strong will and tenacity in terms of the work that they do.
Administrative Professionals Day or Secretaries Day will be globally recognized on Wednesday, April 24th under the theme Administrative Professionals, We Touch the World. The Dominica Association of Administrative Professionals will host a number of activities during its planned week of activities. Some of the activities include a church service at the Wharton Waven Pentecostal Church on Sunday, 21st April, a professional half-day seminar at the University of the West Indies Open Campus on Wednesday, 24th April 2019, and a social gathering at the Ocean Edge in Castle Comfort on Friday, April 26. The Dominica Association of Administrative Professionals is a registered non-profit organization whose objective is to educate and upgrade office professionals as well as to provide an organization for administrative assistance. The association also promotes the interest of all persons engaged in the practice of administrative duties. Their goals are achieved through workshop seminars and educational activities. We at the Government Information Service extend the Happy Administrative Professionals Day to our two administrative assistants, Ms. Karen Philogen and Seda John Baptist. The civil registry is once again functioning normally following severe damage due to the passage of Hurricane Maria in September 2017. The building suffered physical ruin, which led to the loss of equipment and data, affecting the operations of the registry. While speaking to GIS News, the local High Court Registrar, Ozzy Walsh, stated that a lot of remedial work had to be done in and after the passage of Hurricane Maria due to loss of documents and data. He went on to credit the staff of the registry for their work in the immediate aftermath of Maria, noting that their quick work helped save documents and data.
The civil registry is the registry which deals with births, marriages and deaths records. The server was affected for that unit. The documents were affected here, or there rather. Computers were affected. But a lot of work went into remedial action by staff members. Again, that's why I really big up the staff. They really went down in the doldrums, as it were, in the mud, and sift out documents from the mud, which is good, salvage documents, and put the civil registry in a functioning position, even when we had no electricity here.
According to Walsh, despite the challenges post-Maria, operations at the registry are functioning normally and all services are being offered.
We have reached a stage now where the civil registry is functioning normally. We had a problem with paper, we had a problem with the system, all that's behind us. We have thousands of sheets of civil registry documents available, which can be printed at a snap of the finger. We need to improve on operations there. Further, we would like to do same-day printing of any document. We do it, we have the capacity to do it, but we want to be able to do it better. But again, there are some hindrances. We don't have enough space to accommodate additional equipment here, additional staff here. We are bursting out those seams here. So we've got to think of innovative ways. How do you put an additional printer? How do you put an additional member of staff to deal with the growing demands of the civil registry? Is there a need to get the civil registry out of there, this building, and have it housed in bigger premises?
Walsh further added that great strides have been made and work continues to ensure that the civil registry operates effectively.
The civil registry, a lot of strides have been made since Maria. We are functioning normally. All our computers are up in that section. We have got new computers. The printer is functioning fine. The members of staff are well trained there. And hats off to those staff members, Miss Baptist in particular, who is the supervisor of that section. And tremendous work she has done with the staff and it continues to do to ensure that the civil registry functions normally. And I want to thank the public because they waited weeks and maybe months for certificates at one time, but that's behind us. We've almost cleared the backlog, I think. So in certain circumstances, we do issue same-day requests for civil registry certificates. But 1 or 2 days waiting is what is the norm right now, rather than weeks waiting. That's behind us.
Work for the renovation of the Old Mill Cultural Center is progressing smoothly. This is according to the Chief Cultural Officer, Raymond Lawrence. The Old Mill Cultural Center, the place where events are being staged, was severely damaged after the passage of Hurricane Maria in September 2017. Earlier this year, government made a significant financial contribution towards the rehabilitation of the Old Mill Cultural Center. A new stage is currently under construction.
Work is ongoing on building a new stage at the Old Mill. Just to make a long story short, we had a permanent stage at the Old Mill maybe for about a good length of time, maybe 20-something years to 30 years, which had to be demolished because it was mainly made of wood. So it was demolished maybe around 5 or 6 years ago. Since that time, we haven't had a permanent stage. And the idea is to build a permanent stage because, you know, Old Mill is a popular place too in terms of activities.
Lawrence says the construction of the new stage will provide new options for event producers.
That will enhance, because in Dominica, as we all know, we don't have a lot of spaces, believe it or not, and stages for performance. Look now, we don't have our whack. And then when you think, where can I have a show, you know, you really have to think hard, you know, whereas if there's Old Mill and there's Arawak and there's the Strip, and so at least people, and the Harlem Plaza, you have more choices, more variety, you know.
And that's National Focus. Coming up next, your tip of the day.
Protection from abuse is every child's right. Everyone has a shared responsibility in protecting the child from abuse.
Mothers, believe your children when they say they've been abused, and follow through with child abuse cases when they've been reported.
For more information on child abuse or to report suspected cases on child abuse, contact the Social Welfare Division on 33 Great Marlborough Street or call 266-3020 or 266-3080.
Did you know that to get a marriage license in Dominica, one member of the party must be in Dominica for at least 2 days prior to the ceremony? An application form must be filled out and signed by the groom and the bride in front of a witness. Information on obtaining a marriage license can be found at the Ministry of the Social Services at the government headquarters. That's all for this edition of National Focus. Be sure to follow GIS Dominica on Facebook as well as on Twitter at GIS Dominica. From all of us here in the GIS News Production team, I'm Shaakira Pierre. Thanks for watching.